Welcome back, everyone, to the Mind of Mando. I'm your host, Armando Ortega, and here's episode number 3. Real quick, if you're hearing some music in the background, that's me playing one of my records again, and my cats are freaking out. The record I'm playing right now is Skyrim Atmospheres. It's one of my favorite records that I bought so far. I got it for a steal, you know? Like, I was checking eBay when I was, like, super getting into records at the beginning, and I saw that Bethesda has been releasing a lot of different, like, variants of their records for the soundtracks, but I saw one that's called Skyrim Atmospheres, and it's basically just atmosphere music and sounds that when you play Skyrim. So I saw that, you know, at records you have like a lot of different looking records and everything. They're not all just black. They come in different colors, different patterns and everything. Well, the one I had, if you hear crunching in the background, that's my son Chef. He's eating his dinner and everything like that. Actually, you know what? Let me turn that down a little bit. I think that's a little too loud. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. You know, trying to adjust to what's an appropriate level. Okay, now I'm back. So anyways, the one I got was this one called Snowcap, and it's really nice. It's like a clear record, but in the middle of it, it looks like, you know, just a cap of snow that someone stepped in, like probably a mammoth or something, because it's pretty round. The footprint, that is. And it just looks like a snow cap on top of the record. And there was limited supplies of those. And the two that I found, they were being sold for like $75, not including the tax and shipping and handling. And the other one, about $120. And it was just like, man, records are expensive, you know? But lucky me. I went to eBay one day after like holding off for so long, and I saw that they had the one that I wanted, the snow-capped version of the record, and this guy was selling it for like $35, and me and a couple other people were bidding on it, and I won the bid at $44, but my dummy self didn't buy it right away, so this guy just took it off from the marketplace and resold it. And I messaged him. I'm like, hey, sorry, I was the one who won the bid last time at $44 and everything like that. I didn't check my messages until way too late after and everything. He's like, is there any chance I could just buy it now for the price that I won it for originally? This guy was like, yeah, I'll sell it to you for $44. I'm like, cool. After, like, you know, the taxes, shipping, and handling, it came to about like $50. But that's way better than the other two, you know? And now that I look back at eBay and everything like that for this particular one, the other records are still $70, $100+ just for this single one, and it's like I got it for only $50. So you know, it's definitely one of my favorite purchases and one of my favorite records to just look at because of how beautiful it is. You guys should Google it, the snow-capped vinyl for Skyrim Atmospheres. How's my day so far? Pretty good. Woke up pretty early, relaxed, sorry for the noise, relaxed on my bed with my cats. My lady went to work. It's my day off. It's my Sunday, so I start my work week tomorrow. And how do you say it? Just went to the gym, worked out for a while, and everything felt really, really good. And then took a shower. Oh yeah, you know what I use now? And like, it's slowly making me become like a little more bougie, if you say that. There's this brand called Dr. Squatch, and they sell these like soap bricks of like different stuff, and they're supposed to be like more natural, less chemically and everything like that, and they look great. They have great marketing, and I bought a lot of soaps from them. I bought their Stars limited edition one, which came with four different soaps for Obi-Wan, Yoda, Darth Vader, and Darth Maul. And I bought their holiday candy cane version one, and that one by far is one of my favorites for reals. That one and Darth Vader. And right now I still have their Bow Chicka Wow Wow Valentine's Day edition soap bar, and it smells a lot like chocolate. And I mean, it makes sense. Valentine's Day, and the day of love, the month of love, and chocolate is one of those treats from closely related to the topic of love. What's up, son? My son's chef. He's just exploring this stuff right now. And yeah, it smells really good. Usually I don't like anything that smells like chocolate if it's not, chocolate itself. But for the soap bar, it smells nice. I really do. I really do like it. Can't wait to start using that one. And yeah, so I took a shower and everything. I even got the shower caddy, by the way. And got changed after fixing myself up, fixing everything around the house that I could fix at the moment. Went out, got myself a nice cup of coffee, a nice croissant, chilled out for a bit, watched some Donut Operator, who's a great YouTuber. Got money for rent, and I stopped by 7-Eleven real quick. So I got this from 7-Eleven. One thing that's new to the one, at least where I live, is this brand called Sour Strips, which is basically like, it's just candy, but it's those sour, like, long strip candies with the sour sugar on top of it and everything like that. It's delicious. Oh, I haven't had this in years, but it's delicious. The second thing I found out, and get this, you might hear the bag right now. Hold on. It's Cheetos. It's Cheetos, but it's called Cheetos Mexican street corn. Like elotes locos for those from the Bay. It's when you got the corn on a stick, and then you put it with like mayo and then chile on top, and like maybe some cheese. And it's like they made that into a Cheeto. I haven't tried it yet. I want to, but I'm waiting for my lady to come home because I don't think she saw it yet. She might have, but people in San Diego, man, you guys are crazy. I'm telling you, I've never seen more Mexican variants of common like junk food and everything than I have since I moved down here, and I love it. It's amazing, Oh, and even has a picture of a lime on there covered in tajin. I'm assuming. I can't wait to try these. they might suck like those Funyuns wasabi. Have you guys ever tried that? That's disgusting, but they might suck like that, or they might surprisingly be good. Man, I really can't wait. But yeah. So that's just been my day so far and everything. And, on my days off, when, I'm not really playing video games or worried about cleaning or working out or doing errands or anything like that, like I said, I talk to myself, I think to myself, and a lot of things come up in my mind that, I would really love to discuss. And one of the things that actually happened, hey, Kiwi. One of the things that actually happened, I think I found out like 2 days ago or yesterday or something, and I confirmed this today, was that I found out that one of my old buddies that I made down here, he's moving this month to Texas and everything. And it's like a discussion I've had with myself and my lady multiple times. It's like, people move all the time to different places. How I had to move. Well, I didn't have to. I chose to move from where I was born and raised in to a place hundreds of miles away without knowing anything or anyone, But it's a change that I made, and despite it being very, very, very rocky for like the first 2.5 years, I've gained a lot of more good out of it than I did bad, and I'm glad I did it. And, I knew that's just how it's going to be with people that I met down here too. Everybody has their own lives. We don't know what goes on with others and everything like that, or why they make the choices they make or will make. But it's like when you meet people that you like genuinely enjoy spending time with, it's hard to try and come to terms with the fact that that person's not gonna stay in your life forever. Some people are just not meant for that, and that was the case with this guy right here. How do you call it? I told my lady about this. I told my buddies about this. I even told him about it one time when we were like out drinking and everything. And what I told him was like, because we met at work. I used to work for transit enforcement down here for these what they call the trolleys. They're really just trains, but I used to work enforcement there, and the job that I was assigned with was to roll around in one of the company vehicles, responding to calls, helping people out with arrests, etc., and everything. And part of my responsibilities was training the new guys, being their FTOs. This guy one day got assigned to me. The thing is, prior to him being assigned to me, I've already spoken with a lot of the other people that I was friends with in that job, and they were telling me when they had them as their trainee, he just annoyed the hell out of them, like crazily annoyed them. And I was like, no, he can't be that bad, right? You know? But then, like, I just kept hearing him, and I'm like, maybe he is. One day, he was assigned to me, and I was like, dude, seriously? But I try to keep an open mind. Let me tell you, I started getting annoyed, like very, very annoyed with this man. And it got to the point where I literally would text my sergeant in secret and be like, yo, bro, please switch this guy off with somebody else. It's like, I can't take it anymore. I'll train anybody else, just not him, you know? I was denied and everything. And he just really annoyed me. He just wouldn't stop talking. Too much energy in him. And it's just like, I've only felt that way with one other person. And that was one dude back home that I met when I was working a different job. And we didn't even work together. He just happened to work security across the street at the building across from where I worked at. And he just came at a little too strong. I'm like, bro, relax. You know, we don't even know each other like that yet. But yeah. Well, anyways, looking back at it, and I look back at it a lot, because this happened in 2017, I believe. I'm actually glad that my sergeant didn't let me, switch, you know? Or maybe it was the beginning of 2018, I forgot. I'm glad that he didn't let me switch him out for somebody else. The reason is because as I just, accepted the fact that I'm going to have to spend the next 10 hours with the same dude, like we started talking a lot more, and we realized we both loved metal, and we both had been playing guitars for years. Not arguably, but confirmed that he was better at me than me at playing guitar. But we knew how to play the same songs. We listened to the same music for the same bands and everything like that. And Chef, why are you crying so much, bro? He loves to cry. But yeah, so we just started talking about that. And then after bonding over playing music, listening to music, the bands and everything, we ended up finding out that we liked the same TV shows, the same movies, the same comics. We do basically the same thing out of work. That, how do you say it? We do the same thing when we're not working. We are into the same stuff and the same hobbies. We do almost the same exact things. And yeah, and in my mind I was like, man, this guy isn't that too bad, you know? It's like, he's pretty chill. Now let me get this straight. Well, let me how do you say this? Let me set the record straight. There we go. Let me set the record straight. He still kind of annoyed me because, again, even though we did bond over a lot of this stuff, he still had the problem of talking a little too much. And that's what really, like, the thing that I don't really like. Like, I love when people tell me stories. I love when people share experiences or jokes or whatever. But I think a lot of you guys can relate to this. Sometimes it's just like, despite liking all that stuff, there are people out there who just don't know when to, like, talk, give it a rest. Talk, give it a rest. Switch ideas, let the other person talk for a little bit or something like that. I don't know. And there's people that just keep going and going and going. And that's how I felt. Well, anyways, this dude became chill after that. Because after that training day was done and he would still work, me and him would still, talk. we exchanged phone numbers. We got added each other on Facebook and everything like that. And we would still like hang out to drink after work. And I was just like, in my mind, I never believed this guy who annoyed me the very first second he stepped foot in that car with me. This guy who I just tried so hard to just get switched out. I was literally just clinking glasses with this guy a few nights later, just drinking beers after work, like before last call. And it was just like, it goes to show you, it's just like, you don't know who you're gonna meet, and you don't know how you're gonna start out with a person. But it's just like, it really helped me, I would say, get better in that aspect of not really, how do you say it? Not really looking at somebody and continuously have that same idea as them. Because, you know, in the end of the day, things might change, things might happen, I don't know. And you guys might end up actually hitting it off, even though the start was rocky. And that's exactly what happened with him. We would go out, we would have fun, we would drink, we would eat, we would like, you know, play video games, we would do all like go to comic stores, see movies, etc., and everything like that. And yeah, and how do you call it? I remember back in 2018 when I was let go from that job. I was 2 months without a job, and I had to save every single penny that I could, and I couldn't do much. This guy literally would hit me up and be like, bro, I want to do this, let's go. And I would tell him, dude, I don't have money for that. And he was like, that's fine, I got you. And not once did this guy ever ask for me to pay him back. Not once. And it's just like, dude, that's a real friend right there, you know? And we went to go watch the second Jurassic Park movie. Wait, did we? No. We went to watch the second Ant-Man movie. And we did go watch the second Jurassic Park movie. And then after that, how do you say it? There he goes again. He's just climbing in his tree and he's just meowing and crying. It's like, bro, relax. There's literally nothing happening. Now he's just staring at one of my cats sleeping. Dude, you need to chill. So we watched the second Ant-Man movie, Ant-Man and Wasp. And then we watched the second Jurassic World. And then, how do you call it? Damn, you guys hear him? This guy needs to chill. So yeah, so we watched those two movies, and we watched something else. I think I remember, but I forgot. I know we watched something else. And then when I started getting a new job, and I started getting more money and everything like that, you bet your ass, we went out, and I was just getting him drinks and all that stuff as much as I could as a thank you. Well, I mean, like, it sucks because that was all in mid to late 2018. Like, as you guys know, I think I told you, back in October of 2018, I met my now lady we've been together for over 3 years. Started spending more time with her. Finally was able to move out of my old place. We were able to like start new stuff together and everything like that I've unfortunately started losing touch with, you know, a lot of people, and he was one of those. He would hit me up now and then just if I could help him out with certain things, which I did, you know, if I was able to. But it's like we never really spoke like that again, or had conversations or planned to go out and everything, especially once 2020 hit and the whole pandemic stuff and everybody was shutting down, and bars weren't allowed to open unless they served food, and even at that you couldn't get a drink unless you ate and everything. All those rules are dumb, but yeah, so we never really went out anymore. We never how do you say it? Yeah, we just never kicked it. Well, anyways, I found out the other day that he how do you say it? He's sick, like somehow. Don't really know what it is, but also that he's moving to Texas this month, and it's just like, dude, really? And I'm talking to him about it and everything like that. I'm happy for him. I totally get it. And this is the things that that I was talking about earlier in this episode, which is just not everybody in your life is meant to stay with you for forever. People come and go. People just are meant to be there to either teach you lessons or help you have a good time or anything like that, to make memories, good or bad. But eventually everybody goes their own separate way, whether they start a family or want to move to a different state, go to a different country, help out people or help out themselves or whatever. It's like life happens to each and every single one of us, and we all have our own path to follow. And I was talking to my lady about I talked to her about it multiple times, but it was again the subject of last night, where it's just like, we were talking about our situation also, because we might have to move out of this building this year when our lease is up. But how do you call it? We were talking about because she knows I want to move back home to San Francisco, and be close to my family, see my old friends again, and be able to hang out with them a lot more again. But how do you say? I just know for a fact that we are most likely not going to do that, because we need savings, and it is expensive as hell up there. People are like, oh, San Diego is way expensive. It's really up there with San Francisco. It's not. It really isn't. Last I checked, the most expensive cities to live, 1 was New York, 2 was San Francisco, and all the way in 10th place was San Diego. And it's just it's expensive down here. It's worse up there. I gotta really, really have a lot of savings and just hit it big in the employment field to even have a remote chance of being able to live comfortably up there. Because it's insane, because before I moved down here, when I was looking for different places to live up there and everything to move out, it was excuse me, I'm cracking my arms and my fingers, my knuckles. So when I was looking for places out there, and a lot of the places had advertisements for people to stay, and they're like, we are 3 girls looking for a 4th girl to live with us in our room. We have 1 bedroom for you. It's going to be $1,200. That's insane. Then other listings. We're looking for another roommate. We sectioned off part of the living room for you. It's going to be $800. I was like, what? Are you serious? We sectioned off part of the living room for you? And it's like, these are the living situations up there. And it's soon coming here to San Diego like that. I already see the changes. I'm sorry, I'm branching off to different topics, but it's the truth now that I'm getting into it. Gentrification hit the Bay Area years before it even started hitting San Diego. And I was able to see it. You see, when I was growing up, I felt like I was growing up in my old neighborhood about, La Raza. Proud to be Latino, proud to be Hispanic, our indigenous roots and everything like that. Somos familia and everything. But as I started growing up and I was getting in high school and time was passing, I started seeing a lot of the old places I loved going, or a lot of the old places that I used to pass by, slowly started losing its customers, losing its patrons, and they eventually closed down. And then they were closed for some time until someone new bought it, remodeled it, and opened it up for this new trendy thing or whatever like that. And how do you say it? It was just damn, this sucks. This really does suck. And it's just I missed what used to be here. Then you had, how do you call it? There's this 99-cent store on Mission Street over in SF, my old neighborhood. And it was huge. It was in this green building. It was 2 stories from what I remember. The store, not the building itself. The building was much taller. It was on the corner of 19th and Mission or 18th and Mission. I forgot what it was, or 20th and Mission. And it was just what do you call it? It had these little rideable machines outside. One of them was a car with Spider-Man in the passenger seat. You just put in a quarter and you're able to like ride that machine. And it was just huge on the inside. I used to go there when I was little, 3, 4, 5 years old with my mom and everything. And how do you say? I went back when I first went back in 2020 to go see them. It was closed. It was closed, and it was made into condos or whatever, and it sucked because those are just memories that are gone. Well, the memories aren't gone, but what the building that made those memories is, and that's the stuff I was growing up in. And that's the stuff I experienced. So back in 2016, June of 2016, when I moved down here to San Diego, I saw that a lot of the places that, how do you say it, like were divided by cultures and race and everything like that, still were heavy in their roots. And I was just like, this is nice, but unfortunately, this is going to change. Now, 5.5 years later, or 5 years, 8 months later, that's exactly what's been happening. These past times, it's just things have been changing. Things have been closing down. Stuff that I've seen when I first moved down here that I recognized, learned that what it was and everything, it's gone now. Like, for example, in downtown San Diego, there's this place called Horton Plaza. Those from San Diego know. I remember when I moved down here and I saw Horton Plaza. I've only went in Horton Plaza twice inside of it. And the first time I went, all the stores were open. Everything was open. It had a movie theater in there. On the top floor, it had food court and everything. It had all these stores. I remember I went to Vans to buy like new stuff for my skateboard or wheels and bearings and everything. And I got to experience Horton Plaza as it was. The second time I went, things were closing. Stores were no longer having their logos up or whatever. They were being emptied out or were already empty, but there were still some of the remaining stores in there. Vans was still one of them. The food court was somewhat still there. A couple of them have already closed, and the movie theater was open still. I remember me and my lady went to go see movies there twice. The thing that was remaining open in Horton Plaza was the 24-hour fitness, which I had a membership to. And how do you say it? Yeah, so what was I saying? So the more I would go to that 24-hour fitness, the more I would realize things started closing a lot more. Eventually I did one more walkthrough through Horton Plaza, and I realized everything was closed. Everything. Literally the last remaining thing in that thing was that 24-hour fitness. And it was sad to see, because even though I've had only been there twice, well, once to fully experience it and the second time to partially experience it, I already had nice memories on it. I was like, when I went the first time, it was no clouds in the sky, sunny. People were out smiling. It was my day off. I was by myself, but I had a mission to go and get more stuff for my skateboard. But plus experience Horton Plaza. Jamba Juice, Panda Express, these different like places to like chow down, places to shop, window shopping, walking around. It was beautiful. And now it was just gone. Come the pandemic, when everything started closing down, I guess 24-hour fitness was just like, well, they closed everything down anyways. We can save some money by closing that gym down. They might just have their own for the people who live there, and they ended up closing it down. So the 24-hour fitness is just completely gone. Horton Plaza is not there anymore. They're turning it into like apartments, condominiums, whatever. But Horton Plaza is gone. It's just completely gone, and I feel bad. But it's not really feeling bad for me and the few memories that I had. It's more bad for my lady. I feel more bad for my lady. Because we had a conversation about it, and she described it as she remembers when she first moved down here with her family to downtown, and she was still young, little, and she has memories of her little sisters, her mom, her dad, just going out Sovereign Plaza, looking at it as a luxury. And just remember seeing everything around, how much stuff there was, how many people there were, enjoying eating over there, enjoying all this stuff. And she, like, the way she speaks about it has so much emotion, so much passion, so much care in her voice, in her words, that I understand her, because I've been through things like that before too already, but she's starting to go through it now. And I truly do feel bad for her, because it's like, it sucks seeing your memories, especially from childhood, just being torn down and rebuilt to something boring and bland, Oh, by the way, like I say in every other episode, if you hear me drinking, I'm drinking a tea right now. This time it's the Pure Leaf Lemon. It's pretty good. You guys should try it. Hold on. Oh man, that's a good tea. So yeah. And excuse me. So yeah, and how do you say it? Yeah, so the main point is gentrification happened to me in San Francisco, and I was witnessing it firsthand. When I moved down here, I knew people were going to start witnessing it, and after the past 5 years, 8 months, it has happened and everything. So how do you say it? Yeah, it's just I think the original point was moving. So yeah, so that's the whole huge reason, well, part of the reason as to why prices in San Diego are going up and San Francisco keeps going up in numbers. I know there's been talk about a lot of the people who made San Francisco the way it is now are moving away, going to Austin, Texas, because it's supposedly cheaper there, or at least was cheaper there. They're doing the same exact thing. They're driving prices up because, unfortunately, it's just how business works. Business owners or landlords or whatever, they set up shop somewhere in a little small town or anything like that, somewhere people usually just live in, not really go to visit. And then they set up their business, their housing, rent it out, sell stuff out of it, and they have set prices. Then more people start going over there, especially in the age of technology. More people start going over there, and they end up liking it. So they start making vlogs about it, and then they start putting it on the internet, and then other people watch it, and then other people like how it looks, so they go visit, and they make videos, and then they tell their friends, tell anybody who will listen, and then more people go, more people go, more people go, more people go, and it gets to the point where those owners, those landlords, everything like that, they see that more people are starting to visit, so guess what? They're going to try and hike up the prices because, hey, these cats from California have money. Let's try and make a few extra bucks out of this. And then next thing you know, you have people who want to move out there. So they pack up their things and then they move out to that little area. And then the landlords go like, oh, these people are from California. They got money. Let me just raise up the rent a little bit or whatever to make costs better. And then things around them just get hiked up a little more. They get a little more expensive. And then more people just keep moving there and then starting up. And now you have business owners, because it's happening in San Francisco, my old neighborhood. You have business owners who have their rent hiked up that they can no longer operate in that area. So they're forced to just close down, not cut their losses and everything like that, and just leave. And then you have these new people walking in and like, hey, you know what's a good idea? They don't have an organic coffee shop with beans imported from Guatemala, and then they do that. And they're like, just because we had to pay to get these imported all the way from a different country, we're going to have to charge like $8 a cup or whatever. And then things, people are gonna buy it. People are going to buy it, even that means hurting themselves financially. They're going to buy it, and then more people are gonna go, and more people are gonna do the same exact thing. And next thing you know, you have another Bay Area, you have another Los Angeles, you have another San Diego, and everything. And it's just like, it sucks because that's just how it works. That really is how it works. And then people are leaving San Francisco, they're leaving the Bay, Silicon Valley, and then moving to that area in Texas. And then next thing you know, they're going to do what they do in Texas, what they did here in California. And then they're going to start moving to different areas that are, because it's cheaper and it's a small town and it's now trendy and everything like that. And then, like, you know, it's just a vicious cycle. You guys ever play Snake? That game Snake in like the old Nokia phones or whatever? And you know how the snake, like, before you start eating whatever item is in the screen, if you just go around in a circle, or at least a box, because before they invented like circular motion, you're never gonna fill up the entire area, because it's just like, it's like you're taking up this portion of the screen, but your tail ends after this much length, and then you can just revisit that old spot, but it's going to be empty by the time you get there, because the rest of you moved on long ago and everything. That's basically how it is. For me, this is my prediction. I wouldn't say in San Francisco so much, because San Francisco is just such an iconic city and everything like that. If so much music, movies, songs, everything is surrounded by that city. But in other cities that have been gentrified and had a spike and everything like that financially, people from there are going to move out to somewhere else eventually, because it's cheaper, or they can make a better living somewhere else. And so much time is going to pass by that the cost of living in that original area is going to go down. It's going to go down and go down and go down until generations later, someone goes to that original spot and goes like, hey, look, does anybody know about this area? This is nice. And then they're going to go and upload it and everything. And then it just starts all over again. And then that original place is going to have another spike for some time. And then it's just the way it works. It's a circle, you know? It's just a circle, a never-ending circle and everything. But yeah, that's just my whole thing. That's the way I view it. That's the way I see it. And, you know, yeah, so that's why I keep telling my lady, I don't think we're going to be moving back to the Bay unless I make it big somehow, you know? I would love to retire there, but honestly, I don't think I'd be able to. In the end of the day, it's like, if I can't, I can't. At least I'll still be able to visit. At least I'll be able to, like, fly my old friends out, or fly to them, or see my family, although my mom might be moving back to Guatemala and everything like that, which is fine, because she has a house being built out there. Good for her. I don't know where my sisters are going to be, but, you know, as long as I have my old friends and family, I'm happy wherever I'm going to be. And, you know, who knows? One of my main things that I want to do is actually get property to work on it, you know? Work on the land, work everywhere, you know? Just have my own little area of heaven. and yeah, that's my goal ultimately, whether it's in Alaska, in Montana, any of the Midwestern states or anything like that, or maybe I'll find a way to make it in the city until I retire or whatever. That's just, you know, I have all these things. I'm never gonna be unhappy, is what I'm saying, wherever I land, unless I end up homeless. Then yeah, I'd be pretty unhappy. But yeah, and that's just my whole thing with the whole rent situation and moving out somewhere else, and you know, friends leaving, but you got to be happy with them. That's the most important thing you can do. Be happy for them, because they're moving on, and one day your time is going to come where you're going to move on. Have to, or want to, or whatever. You're going to move on. You're going to do great things. And the great thing about moving is this. It's scary at first. It really is. You're going to have cold feet. You're going to, unless you really hate where you're at right now, you're going to double think, or like have second thoughts, basically, multiple times. But if you just do it, when you just do it, and then when you finally just find your footing, you're going to see how great it is. Like, how, like, satisfying the change is. Trust me. I love back home. I would love to go back home. I miss it, yes. But I look back, and I realize that I've met a lot of great people down here. A lot of great people. And I couldn't be happier. I probably could, but I'm pretty happy right now with what I have, with who I know. because it's great. It's great. My situation's great. My friends are great. My lady is great. My cats, my job, everything. It's all great. And the only thing I can do is go up and try and maintain going up and everything. And, I had to explain that to my lady because one time when we were talking about moving back to San Francisco, she's only been to San Francisco twice. Once when she was 15, the second time with me back in March of 2021, like a year ago, almost a year ago. And, how do you say it? It's a year ago, like tomorrow, I think. I don't know. And, she would be like, I don't know, this is not, after saying she's down to do it. And I was like, it's normal. It's normal for you to feel that way. It's completely normal. Especially if you're leaving a place that you grew up in but actually enjoy being in. Like, she loves San Diego, and I can't blame her. I ended up learning how to love this city too. But it's like, this is her home. It's different when it's your home versus when it's your second home. And that's how I felt in San Francisco. But you just got to do it because you're going to meet more people. You're going to meet new people. And you're going to be like, man, imagine if I went my entire life not knowing this person. That would suck. And I feel like that with a couple of people down here too. So yeah, it's just like the original topic was about, people moving forward and moving on. But it branched off to like all that. Man, it's a good idea that I started this podcast then. But yeah, no. On a lighter note, these candies are like hella good, and Green Hell is fun. Another game that you guys should check out if you guys haven't had a chance to or just haven't done it is LA Noire. LA Noire is super fun, and it's the thing is it's made by Rockstar. It's like, and Rockstar does Red Dead and GTA and everything like that, but it's like, it's different. It's like kind of open world, but there's not really much you can do in the open world setting. There was probably a total of like, not including the how do you call it, the crime missions. Like when you drive around in LA Noire. By the way, if you hear like scratching in the background, that's my cat using the cat litter in the bathroom. But if you drive around in LA Noire, there's how do you say it? There's this like system that takes place where it's like you get calls over the radio about like crimes in progress and everything like that, and you can go and respond to them, and then they all have their little mini stories and everything. It doesn't have anything to do with the main storyline though. Like honestly, you can go the entire game without doing any of those missions. It will absolutely have zero impact in the storyline, but they're fun. They're fun little things. They'll help you with your experience. They'll help you with little here and there and stuff like that, and they're just fun, but other than that, it's just like, I think you got to complete like probably 25 or 30 or 40 in total or whatever. I think it's 40, I'm not sure. But sometimes it's just like, sometimes you just get a call and you'll be on one side of the map and then it'll take you all the way to the other side, and just, I don't want to do that. Like, yeah, you can hold Y and have your partner drive to it, but it's just like, I want to drive. I love the music on the radio. I love seeing the old cars and the old 1947 setting and everything like that. It's just fun for me. And so I'm like, yeah, no, whatever. Well, anyways, besides those missions, those crime missions, that's really all you can do. The only thing the game really has you do is searching for these golden film reels. No, not film reels. Is it film reels? It's either film reels or records. Police badges. I forgot what else. And then like trying to drive every single vehicle in the game. That's about it, And it's like, you don't, aside from achievements, you don't get anything. You don't unlock anything special, The only thing where you can unlock anything special is if you go to the army base in Los Angeles and you complete their physical running course or whatever, where like, you got to climb up rope, balance on the beam, jump over obstacles, etc., etc. If you complete that under a certain time, then you'll unlock a new outfit and everything that'll give you the perk of, I think, you being able to shoot without ever having to reload any of your weapons. And that's it. That's all you can do. That's the only really real reward that you'll get for completing anything in the game. Everything else is either an achievement or just to collect stuff. So that's why it's just like, when it comes down to open world and doing stuff, there's really nothing you can do. The two things that come in mind the one thing that comes in mind that I actually want to do that really doesn't give you much is going around and to these garages, these question marks on the map, and how do you say it? Unlocking these secret cars and everything, because they all look unique. They all drive unique and everything like that, and they're just gorgeous to look at. So that's why it's like I would unlock the cars, all of them. I suggest it, but that's about it. You go and see famous landmarks. It'll give you a little piece of history too, but that's the gist of it. That's it. The story is beautiful though. I love it. I love the story. It's fun to play through. It's dramatic. It really gives you the feel of the 1940s to be an officer in the LAPD or a detective in the LAPD. And like this is fresh. This is 2 years after World War II ended. I think the bombings in Nagasaki and Hiroshima already happened, and you play as Detective Cole Phelps, a war hero from World War II who fought in Japan, I believe, and is now a law enforcement officer in the LAPD, and like a really good detective at that. This guy's full of drama. If you guys listen to the story, this guy's full of drama. But it's a fun game. It's not going to be your typical free roam, beat 'em up, drive over pedestrians, and just shoot willy-nilly whenever you want to. No. This game actually has a system of, you're a cop, you're held at a higher standard by the public, and you need to act like it. And that's what it is. That's what it is. And so yeah. So if you guys haven't played it, I recommend it. It's a whole lot of fun. And if you're into that type of stuff, interrogations and everything, you will enjoy it. It is a product of its time. Let me tell you, I think I got released in 2010, 2011, one of those. So it's like over 10 years old already. It is a product of its time, but nonetheless, if you're a huge fan of stories, that is one of the games that you would want to play. Other than that, nothing much has been going on. That's just stuff that I've been thinking about in my mind and everything. Just wanted to like kind of get it out there into the world. And yeah, Whiskey Girl. One of my cats is called Whiskey. I don't think I told you guys that. So La Brea Tar Pits. Oh, my buddy just texted me something weird. Okay, so yeah, so that's really about it. If you guys Whiskey, what are you doing here? Sorry, my cat's like trying to make itself comfortable in the weirdest places. So yeah, so if you guys, like I said, if you guys haven't tried that stuff, please try it. Just remember, whoever your friends or your families are and everything like that, just, it doesn't take much energy or anything really to just like, let them know that you care about them and you appreciate them. That's really about it. And just good luck to everybody wherever they're going, whatever they want to do and everything like that. Just good luck to you guys. So yeah, well, thank you guys for coming back for the third episode of Mando Comics. I appreciate all of you, and here's to episode 4. All right, guys, see ya.